Episode 13 of The Bad Batch Season 3 is in the books, and it was a good one, although a straightforward one. We had two main plots of the episode, one following Omega inside Mount Tantiss, while the other followed the rest of the Bad Batch and Vice Admiral Rampart, or former Vice Admiral Rampart, in their attempt to find out where Mount Tantiss is. Rampart's presence is adding a fun dynamic to the group where he is clearly panicking in almost every moment where something could go wrong, and he's really not interested in what the Bad Batch is trying to do, so it's understandable that he wouldn't want to risk that much. He tells the Bad Batch that any trips to Mount Tantiss happen from a station on Coruscant, which is where they're going to have to go to get the coordinates. And he actually does come through pretty quickly once they reach the station, bailing the batch out of a very early possible failure. Once they determine that in order to get to Mount Tantiss, they have to dock on the underside of a freighter that's making the trip, Rampart starts to panic, but Crosshair is the one that reinforces that Echo is able to get the job done, and I think this is actually really important. We know that Echo and Crosshair have worked together before on the squad, but it's not something we've ever really seen. There was a bit of it on Kamino at the end of Season 1, but the relationship between Crosshair and Echo is probably the one that we've had explored the least out of any Bad Batch members. Executing this mission also required that the Bad Batch get rid of all the identifying markers on their armor, which I've seen get referenced as a kind of Kanan's haircut moment in Rebels before Kanan died, so hopefully we're not heading in the same direction there. On Omega's side, we saw her integrate with the Force-sensitive kids pretty quickly within the vault, and she's already starting to Michael Schofield her way out of her prison cell. Omega's role in the escape will probably involve herding the Force-sensitive kids around, but there's a few other factors within Tantiss that I think are going to be important to Omega during that escape. For one, Ava not only has Omega's handmade doll, she also confirms that it was Carr who gave it to her, which should help confirm for Omega that some of the work she did on her last trip to Tantiss did have an impact and that Carr might be able to be trusted. The second thing, though, is we know Omega wants to help other clones get out of Tantiss. So aside from a likely appearance by Rex and the other forces that he and Echo have worked with, there's a lot of potential options for allies from within Mount Tantiss, and the big question mark there is going to be whether any of the commandos actually side with our escapees. We already know that Hemlock has not just the CX troopers, but also some dark troopers that he might be able to unleash here. And we still don't know what's going on with that other tube that had other specimens, which Palpatine was looking at with Hemlock earlier in the season. All in all, though, another fun episode, and I'm really excited to see where the season goes from here. I'm hoping the final episode is a bit longer, since the season is one episode shorter than what we've had for the prior two seasons, but let me know what you're looking forward to most in the final two episodes of The Bad Batch in the comments. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.